What's up, guys, and welcome back to a very special episode of the Aftermarket. I'm here with my buddy Anthony. You might have seen in the F-150 video. So if you look right over here, you're gonna see I am at the Carvana tower to pick up my new car. I'm not gonna tell you what it is just yet, but I think it's pretty special. So fortunately, the G70 will be moving on to a hopefully happy new owner. So yeah, we're gonna go inside, do the whole Carvana tower thing, the little light show, put that gold coin in, and do a little reveal on what my new car is. Stay tuned. Alrighty.
All right, here you go.
That's sounding a little rowdy. What's up, guys? Welcome back. So by this point in the video, you're already well aware what car I ended up buying. So let's talk a little bit about the details of the car. Obviously, you can see it's a BMW. So this model, it is a 2019 BMW M240i, and it is the M Performance Edition. So the M Performance Edition is one of 750, made in Leipzig, Germany. Oh, going crazy with the wiper blades here. What did I do? Okay, there we go. Already getting used to the Germans. German cars are a lot different than the Genesis. So anyway, one of 750, about one of 65 imported to the US. What that gets you with the M240i is some carbon bits around the car, the rear spoiler that you probably saw already, some aerodynamics, things like that, an extra 5 horsepower, which really isn't much, but an extra 5 horsepower from the factory as well, and a couple of other really cool features around the car. So why did I end up buying this car? It's pretty simple, actually. The G70, you guys probably know, and any really Hyundai product may suffer from resale value. The value can decrease really, really fast. So I had, just out of curiosity, a couple of my friends had told me that they were getting crazy Carvana offers for their cars. So even though I had literally just finished building the car, I thought, let me go ahead and check it out. And they ended up making me what was a pretty ridiculous offer for the value of the car. So my car was a 2020 fully loaded 3.3. Only had about 13,000 miles on it, and they were offering much more than what I owe. So I had been thinking for a long time about getting into a B58 car, which is found in the 240i, 340i, 440i, 540i, as well as the new Supra, and of course comes in manual or the ZF8 transmission. And for those of you that know anything about BMW, you know the automatic transmission is extremely quick, a lot quicker than my Genesis. So one of the things I didn't really talk about on this channel is that having all that power on my G70, being rear wheel drive, really left me with a situation where I needed to go that extra step with the tires, or it just wasn't going to put down a fast quarter-mile time, which is fine. I mean, it was fun from a rolling car, but to be honest, guys, I kind of didn't enjoy it. Once I got to that level of power and I kind of realized there was nowhere else to go, I kind of got that feeling of like, okay, we're done. What do I do now? And it really, over a couple weeks, I mean, I kind of lost the joy for the car. So as much as I love that car, I wanted to get into something different. I wanted to get into something with a little bit more potential, mod potential mostly. And that's what I ended up doing. So I'm going to switch the view here now, give you guys a little bit of a drive along, talk about like the driving dynamics of this car and whether it does live up to the potential that I hoped it would. Just from my initial impressions on literally day 5 of ownership. When I first drove this car with my friend when we picked it up from Carvana, which you just saw in that video, I was very underwhelmed. Coming from 500 wheel horsepower in the G70, I was way more spoiled than I realized, and the car did feel really, really slow. And that was kind of concerning. You know, the car is 2019, it's got about 23,000 miles on it, one owner, all the service records, so I expected it to drive normally, but because it felt just so slow stock, I thought something was wrong with it. It turned out that was definitely a combo of me not really getting used to the throttle modulation in this car. So with the G70, if you give it like 50% throttle, you're basically at 100. From what I read, this car does something different where it's like 40% is 80% and yada yada. So I wasn't really learning how to engage this car properly. On top of that, the B58 engine is so buttery smooth that you don't get that like instant hit of torque that's really drastic in the G70 and kind of throws you back in your seat. It's more of like a very linear power band that just kind of moves you at a certain pace the whole time. So the car, when you look at what it's doing in terms of accelerating from the speedometer perspective, it is moving just fine, but it feels a lot different than, you know, a twin turbo engine, where you're kind of getting all of that low end torque kick and it kind of puts you back in your seat and you feel like you're moving. So the reason I showed you those videos as well, because you guys know me, it's day 5, but I move pretty fast with these cars that I tend to buy. So this car already has an agency intake on it. A couple days later, it also has a little bit of exhaust work done, which I'm going to show you in a little bit. And I was also able to flash an MHD Stage 1 tune for 93. So another huge reason I went to this car, modifying this car is cheaper, faster, and just better than anything in the KDM world right now. All I had to do was buy a super license from MHD. That allowed me to download an app. I bought a $30 cord, which you can see down here, that yellow wire that goes into the OBD, and then has an adapter here that plugs into my phone, and I was able to, in about 5 minutes, flash a Stage 1 tune onto this car. So that woke it up quite a bit, which I'm going to show you now. Back up here. Now, if you guys have watched my previous videos, you know that I'm definitely a fan of burbles. I'm not a huge fan of crackles and pops, but I had pretty much been told by everybody I knew that had a B58 that, you know, hey, look, get used to it. The pops, the bangs, the crackles, that's part of the charm with the B58. You're gonna get it no matter what if you want to chase your goals. So let's talk about that. So what are my goals for this car? So one of the things that I didn't mention is this car does come with BMW's xDrive, which is their all-wheel drive system. So obviously after the struggles I had with rear-wheel drive, I wasn't willing to build another rear-wheel drive car and have that same issue with 0 to 60. So in the videos I showed you just now, you know, the 0 to 60 on this car stock was, I don't know, 4.8. I think 4.7 was like the best I could do. Carvana did put some really cheap fronts on, but they did put Michelin 4S on the back, so that could be part of the problem with the front wheels. But other than that, yeah, the 0 to 60 was okay. I mean, 4.8 really isn't anything to write home about, but not too bad. But with the Stage 1 flash on the car, that woke it up considerably. So I've already taken some draggy videos. I'm going to take another one for you guys here. I took some at night, but I'm going to take one during the day now, and let's see if we can beat our previous best, which was about a 3.98 on stage 1. Clearly, I don't know, I'm doing something wrong with the launch control, but I don't really want to keep, you know, beating it up. So from what I heard, actually, BMW basically programs in where you can get anywhere from 50 to 100 uses of the launch control on the car. So don't want to just use them all up. This car is going to have a lot more power soon, and I want to be able to enjoy that. But it does seem like I need to just get used to feathering the car. There's some rolling anti-lag options to the tuners that I can use, things like that. So anyway, I did get one good video of the 3.9 0 to 60 with the launch control fully activated that I'm going to put in here, of course. So this car is pretty consistent. I mean, with just the stage 1 tune intakes and a little bit of exhaust work, it already is hitting, you know, pushing 3 seconds into the 3s in the 0 to 60. So pretty happy with that from stage 1. Plans for this car from here on, I've got a downpipe coming in tomorrow, which really opens up the B58, and then I'll be doing a stage 2 fuel pump from Dorch, which will allow me to run E50, and then a custom tune after that. And I really want to push, you know, 10-second quarter mile, high 10s. So that's the goal for this car. I want to have a daily that can do 10-second, not 10 seconds flat, of course, but let's say high 10s, something like that. From what I'm seeing from the B58, that is very possible. So I would be really happy with that. And then, you know, we'll decide after if I want to go upgraded full frame turbo or hybrid turbo or any of those many options that are available on this platform. And that's it for me, guys. I'm going to stop talking and let you enjoy this car. Downswing.